Hey, what's up guys? It's Eli and I'm on location here at the Thunderdome with Josh Goodman. So we are making a couple little videos and training and stuff, and I wanted to put one out because I made a little quick reel a little while back. I made a long video a long time ago, but a quick little reel of arm triangle escapes or head and arm choke escapes. I wanted to put some explanation with those because I just did. So when we get here, and so what's gonna happen is I'm late, obviously don't get here, but if I do wind up in a head and arm choke like this here, right? So first criticism whenever I talk about any of these is like that Josh, he's being a good partner like he's doing right now, and he's keeping his hips up, but everybody's like, well sure, it's gonna work when he's got his hips hiked up, but what about when he's sprawled out, or what about when the knee is across the belly or whatever? So we'll address that in a second. But let's talk about first, one preventative measure, and I call this kind of a hasty tourniquet, is I want to take this C-clamp here, and if I can, I want to get this stuck into the wedge of his elbow here. Now what I like to do in addition to that, I want to clamp down with my elbow as tight as I can by flexing my lat, and I want to grab this hand and help reinforce it. So I've got all those different mechanics pulling this out of the way. So if he goes to squeeze right now, he's essentially going to have to he's squeezing right now, and I'm still talking just fine. And so this buys me a lot of time off of this. Now, you don't want to stay here forever. That's why it's a hasty tourniquet, and I've got to get to a place where I can more deliberately and more technically escape. But this buys me a little bit of time if I'm late in the process. So the first one that I want to start to look at here is oftentimes whenever he's moving into this, he doesn't sprawl immediately. So he's either dismounting, he's coming off to the side, he may be up on his knee, this is fine, or he may be with his knee across my belly. So we can address those all the same way because this escape still works in all those conditions. If he is sprawled out, go ahead and sprawl. If he is sprawled out here like this, then I buy myself some time, and then when it's time for me to escape, I'm gonna roll my leg up, I wanna catch underneath to the entering from the outside of my leg underneath, and I want to ride that momentum once I catch, driving my heel up and forward. So I already stopped, so I got to build the momentum again. I go here this way, and I want to sit up this way here. Now I got to be careful because right here it may happen that I keep his arm captured well enough that whenever I sit through, I can start to pull him and reverse him down like this. Now I have to feel if that's gonna happen at first as soon as I get to that top position, because if not, I'm in danger of him going to take my back right here. So this is that's a bad proposition for me. So generally what's gonna happen here though is he's gonna stop my momentum. He's gonna stop it, either push me back down, or he's going to stop it to take my back. So whenever I feel this stop, I'm gonna go backwards with his energy. So what that looks like is we get here, I make the stop here like this, I go to sit up here this way, and then he pushes me back down. As he pushes me back down, I wanna roll up and through this direction. So what he does, when he pushes me back down, he creates the momentum, I just accelerate the momentum, and then as we roll up to here, now I've essentially reversed it into a makeshift case of katami here like this. So I'm gonna keep his elbow so that he doesn't turn hard into me. Then I'm gonna backstroke and get this underneath his head, driving my weight up on top of him for a more true type of case of katami where I have control of the situation. So again, up to here in that sequence now, let's look at this here. I buy myself some time here so I'm not getting immediately choked. I want to rock up, I want to catch, I want to try to rock and roll him over this way here. He slams me back down, I follow that direction, and then I go and I sit through like this, and then we crack the wall over here like that. So once we hit here, I want to drive, I want to backstroke, get underneath, and then get my case of katami. Now, so that's 1 and 2. There's a third piece in that here, where if I feel like I can't get that backward roll because of his pressure, his posture, his whatever, then I'm just gonna do a hard backstroke where I'm gonna bring my arm by my head like this and try to slam my tricep to the floor between our two heads. Because if Josh wants to finish this choke here, look at his head position when he goes to finish. So go ahead and finish the choke here. Yeah, look where his head is. So if I get my arm here, there's no choke anymore. Not as bad anyway. There's shoulder pressure, but it's not gonna choke me out. So as we go here, what I wanna look to do, I wanna try to rock up, one this way, he slams me back down. I don't feel like I'm gonna, I try for that backward roll, that doesn't happen. So I turn hard and I slam my elbow or my tricep to the floor on this side. And now I'm essentially just kind of in a case of katami, or in kind of a headlock position, which is a lot easier to escape than it is to escape an arm triangle a lot of the time. So in sequence here, what that looks like, we go here, I try to rock up, one, he slams me back down, that's not gonna happen. I wanna turn hard and get my arm between our heads like that. okay? Now, let's address those two things that I said in the beginning here. One, what if he's got his knee across my belly to finish this? And this is actually really nasty because what he's doing, he's not just pinning me, but if he's doing this properly, he's driving his knee down this way here, stretching me out like that. So I really got to put the Band-Aid on here like that. The extra step that I have to do to counter this now is I got to get this knee off my belly. So before I start to rock up, obviously I can't rock up and grab my leg. All I've got is this Band-Aid that I have here stopping the choke right now. So the next thing that I need to look to do is I want to start to push 1 and then 2 on his knee. I'm going to go here, 1, 2, get off, and then fill that space with my knee before he can fill it with his again. Then I start to rock up and I repeat the process. Sit up, rock back, backstroke, right? If he's already sprawled down on his hips, we saw this, that doesn't really prevent this from happening, right? So from here, I can still start to rock up. I can sit him up and up here to be able to make one of those work. So it's not a matter of these are 3 equal options, because there's not really such thing as equal options, right? There's one best option all the time. But these are energetically kind of juxtaposed to each other, where I want to try to sit up. That one's not working. The second one in the process might work. The second one in the process doesn't work. The third one might work. And then there's preliminary steps to make sure that I clear the field to be able to try all those in the first place. So anyway, hopefully that clears up some escapes on the head and arm choke. And if you have any more, leave them in the comments. I'll try to address them the best I can. I appreciate you loaning me the Thunderdome for this one. Make sure you go and subscribe and like all of his videos on Instagram, on YouTube, on Pinterest, on Groupon, all the platforms. Make sure you go and look up Thunderdome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.